The colors in your food aren't just beautiful, they are powerful medicine for your gut. Hey, I'm Erin Harner, gut health IBS and SIBO dietitian and coach, and I want to talk to you today if you're feeling bloated, if you're feeling backed up, or if you're feeling frustrated, this is for you. Today we're talking about polyphenols, what they are, why your gut loves them, and easy ways to get more in your meals starting today. You see, polyphenols are natural plant-based compounds that give foods their rich color. So the greens and the reds, plants make them to actually protect themselves from UV light, from pests, and other protections. But when we eat them, they actually help protect us. There are four main categories of polyphenols: flavonoids, phenolic acids, stilbenes, and lignans. And polyphenols aren't the same as fiber, but they are just as important. They are food for your gut bacteria. So here's when it gets really cool. Most polyphenols aren't actually absorbed right away by our bodies. Gut bacteria have to break them down and activate them for them to be useful, kind of like a fermentation lab. In turn, they help beneficial bacteria thrive, and that gives us a prebiotic effect. They act like prebiotics, similar to fiber, but they're not fiber. They are polyphenols. So this interaction leads to reduced inflammation, better gut barrier, or less leaky gut, more short-chain fatty acid production like butyrate, which is incredibly anti-inflammatory and helps with motility, and also more microbial diversity, which equals more resilience. The more variety you have in your microbiome, the more resilient your gut is, the least likely you're going to have symptoms, and the more function all of those bacteria have in your gut. Variety is really, really important. And polyphenols are a key component of the variety of your gut. They are food for your gut bacteria. So when you think about eating meals, you want to think about eating meals with color. Each color represents unique different types of polyphenols. We think about reds. When we think about reds, we're thinking about things like berries and pomegranates and red grapes. And these are very high in things like anthocyanins. Orange and yellow foods like citrus, think grapefruit and oranges, turmeric and onions, these are all very high in flavonoids and quercetin, very, very potent polyphenols. Greens, we're thinking green tea. Leafy greens, think kale, Swiss chard, spinach, you name it. Herbs, cilantro, parsley, basil, and extra virgin olive oil, all super green and rich and high in catechins and phenolic acids. Next category, we have purples and blues. Think blueberries, eggplant, purple cabbages. These are very high in compounds called anthocyanins, which are really potent polyphenols. And last but not least, our black and brown category. Think coffee, dark chocolate, and black tea. These are very, very high in procyanidins or theoflavins. Lots of different phenolic compounds, lots of different polyphenols. But you don't need to worry about all the details. Just remember to eat a large variety of different foods. These aren't just pretty, they are powerful food for your gut microbiome. Remember, your body can't absorb them as they are. When we're eating all these colorful foods and we're thinking about eating the rainbow, a lot of the benefit has to do with feeding our gut bacteria so they can activate them so we can actually take them in and use them and use the byproducts like those short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. So let's think about how we're going to fit these in our diet. How are we going to bring these in? I like to use this rule called the +1 rule. So think about adding one colorful food to each meal or snack. Add herbs and spices. Think turmeric, rosemary, cinnamon. These all boost polyphenol content. Without much prep, they're really easy. So with this morning when I made my smoothie, I had my plant-based protein powder that had lots of different ingredients in it. I had some spinach, I had some blueberries, I had a couple strawberries, and I added a sprinkle of cinnamon. Right? Really easy to do. You can get more variety in the food that you're eating very simply. Just add one thing to the thing that you're already doing. We also can do really simple swaps. Like instead of frozen berries, we can do a blend of frozen berries. Like instead of just getting frozen blueberries, maybe we do a blend of blueberries and raspberries and strawberries and blackberries, right? You can buy the blend instead of just the blueberries. So the more variety we're getting, the better. The more polyphenols we're getting in our diet, the more they're feeding our gut bacteria. Also, think about cacao nibs or dark chocolate. Who doesn't love dark chocolate, right? It's very bitter, but those phenolic compounds, those polyphenols are really, really potent food for the gut bacteria. So how can we get more dark chocolate in there? Less sugar, less junk, more polyphenols than something like a milk chocolate. Also green tea. Can you fit green tea in your life? There's powerful compounds in green tea that are very beneficial. What about a quick rainbow salad or a rainbow coleslaw where you're using lots of different ingredients? Greens, berries, citrus, extra virgin olive oil dressing can be very, very simple. However, I just want to put a caveat out here. If I'm talking about variety and I'm talking about a lot of foods and you're like, whoa, Erin, slow down. A lot of those foods trigger symptoms for me. I want you to pay attention. If you have a sensitive gut, if you're reactive to a lot of these plant foods, I want you to start very, very small. Could you do one blueberry? Could you do one strawberry? Could you do one blackberry in your smoothie? Right? Keep it simple. You got to work your way up. The more you feed your gut bacteria, the more diverse it becomes, the more function it has, the more resilient it becomes, and the more you're able to tolerate those foods that you are sensitive to or reacting to currently. Also, when we're thinking about polyphenols, cooked veggies are fine, right? They don't all have to be raw. Cook veggies, soups, and stews. These are often much easier on the gut than the raw versions. Also, frozen. Frozen is fine. Organic is great if it's possible, but do the best that you can. Oftentimes, especially in the winter, it's really hard to get a lot of fresh produce. Frozen is fine. It's frozen at the peak of freshness. Also, supplements can be helpful, but I don't usually use supplements first, especially when it comes to polyphenols. There are some great ones on the market, I will give you that, but if we can get these foods in our diet, that is a great way to go. Sometimes they even do things like small amounts of pomegranate juice or Concord grape juice or whatever might be missing in the diet to get more polyphenols in. There's lots of different ways to do it, but I like to start with food. Okay, so we've talked a lot about polyphenols. Polyphenols are what give foods their color, and they are so important for gut health. They are food for the gut bacteria in a similar way that fiber is food for the gut bacteria. They're prebiotic in nature. Remember that. The reason you're eating all those colorful foods, the reason you want to get blueberries at breakfast and some spinach with your lunch and some turmeric at dinner is because we want to get polyphenols in our diet to feed our gut bacteria. The gut bacteria have food preferences, just like we do, and they feed on different polyphenols. So different polyphenols are going to feed different categories of gut bacteria. So we want to get a wide variety so we have a diverse gut microbiome. Because a diverse gut microbiome is a healthier, more resilient gut microbiome that is less likely to have symptoms, to give you symptoms, and more functional. It has more function. The more bacteria you have, the more jobs they can do. And those jobs are really, really important for you, the host of all of those bacteria. So I have a challenge for you. I want you to try adding one new colorful plant food to your day this week. Notice how your body responds. How does it feel? One new food per day. Could be a spice, could be an herb, could be a green, could be a vegetable, could be a fruit, could be some frozen mixed berries. I don't care. Pick something and start adding more color onto your plate. And if you're reactive to FODMAPs, if you're concerned about adding more variety into your diet, it's really important to get some support because variety is the spice of life. And it's also essential for a healthy gut microbiome. So if you're wanting to dig deeper, if you're wanting to uncover the reasons that your gut isn't cooperating, I want to invite you to watch my free training, Bloated, Constipated, and Fed Up. I'm going to put the link below so that you can watch it. I would strongly recommend you watch it so you can get a better understanding of what's going on for you and what the best next steps are to really understand what's going on in your gut, to get to the root causes so you can move forward and live a life free of all those gut symptoms that are keeping you stuck and uncomfortable and avoiding things in life that you love to do. So check out the masterclass below. If this video was helpful, I want you to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get more content from me. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, friends.